Hi, First Church. Thank you for checking out this video. This is something different we're trying during this strange season of our lives. We're trying to find new ways to communicate and to stay connected with each other and to help each other stay connected with God, even when we can't gather together for corporate worship and some of the other things that I think are so vital to our spiritual health in more ordinary times. So thanks for checking out this video. Just want to share a few thoughts with you. It might be something we try to do from time to time. Before we get to all that, just this week, I want to talk to you about habits and routines. Now, I am a person who really likes my habits, and my wife will tell you I'm a person who really likes pretty set routines. I eat the same thing for breakfast every morning. I eat the same thing for lunch almost every day. I go to the gym same days every week. I have the kind of the same set workout routines. I like my routines. I like my habits. They're really important to me. So one of the things that's just been, one of the small irritations, I know people have way bigger problems than this, but one of the things that's been hard for me with this whole deal is that all my habits and all my routines, it seems like they've gone out the window. My gym is closed as of Tuesday afternoon. I don't have the stuff that I want to eat for breakfast and lunch because there's been a run on the grocery stores and that's been crazy. The big event of my week that I plan everything else around, Sunday worship, writing a sermon for that, having everything ready to go Sunday morning, well, that's out the window. That looks completely different. I've got my kids here at work with me because they're doing homeschool kind of while their mom's at work. And so they're probably going to come busting in here any second, so I gotta make this quick. But all my habits, all my routines have changed. It seems like they've been thrown out the window, and that's a little hard for someone like me. But I'm also trying to remember that in the midst of the loss of all these old routines and habits, there's an opportunity, right? And the opportunity is to develop some new habits and some new patterns. Some of us have been told repeatedly. The new habit, new pattern, right? Wash your hands every 6 minutes, something like that. And those kinds of things, of course, are important. But also, I want to talk to you today not just about the habits you do for your body, for your physical health, but I want to talk to you about your spiritual habits, things you do for your spiritual health, for the good of your heart and your soul. And I think that's something that's always important. Christians talk about this all the time. So do pastors, right? But really, really, now I think that these kinds of habits that help us pay attention to God, are especially important. Because doing that, right, paying attention to God, it's not an easy thing for us in these times. I think for a lot of us, we just feel swamped in the deluge of bad news, and maybe a little overwhelmed by all the information that's coming at us in the last week or two, or maybe we've been paying attention a little longer than that. But I think in this moment, when everything is changing around us, when our worlds feel like they're spinning out of control, when we're trying to stay on top of the kids being at home and a new routine for work, and what are we going to do for groceries, and where do we find more Purell, all those things we're now trying to manage, it's easy for us to think that those realities are the only realities, right? That the physical world, the world that we can see in front of us, that's it. But of course, it's not it, right? There's another reality. There's another reality that we need to pay attention to all the time, but I think especially during times of crisis. And that's the reality of God, the God who is with us, the God who is at work around us, even now, right? Even in a time of crisis and chaos. We need to learn to pay attention to that, and so habits are really important. And so during this time, during this season, however long it lasts, one of our ministry goals here at First Church is to really encourage you to get habits and patterns that help you pay attention to God and to the reality of a God who is at work in your midst. Now, there are different ways that you can do that. Maybe you have some of your own habits and patterns already. You read the Moravian text, you get up, you say prayers, you walk your dog at night, whatever it might be. But we're trying to provide some resources for you to to encourage you along the way. So we're going to be sending out prayers just to get you started each day. We're going to have the opportunity to call in a few times a week, to maybe have a meditation on Scripture, to pray together, to just maybe even just worship together. We're still figuring out the details on some of this stuff. And then, of course, there's the habit we hope you continue in worshiping together on the weekend. And we're going to ask you to develop the new habit maybe of stepping out into leadership in your home or in your family, and of worshiping in a slightly different way. But we want to encourage you in all these things, and we want to help you along. That's why we're sending out lots of emails and going to be posting lots of links on our social media accounts. But want to just encourage you and remind you to develop habits and patterns that help you pay attention to God, that remind you that He is with you, because, dear friends, He is. He is with you always, He says. He is your ever-present help in trouble, and you do not need to be afraid. So just be encouraged with that word today. Think about your habits and maybe give some new habits and patterns a chance in this strange season. Grace and peace.